All right, we have another user-submitted replay for me to review. This replay was sent by this player, the 22nd div. He told me this when he sent me this replay that, and this will be inferred in the title of the video, that this replay shows the merits of not taking a gun as fascist. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. All right, so one ditches a blue. I think that's fine. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, this is what makes it fine, right? After you ditch the blue, now 2-6 gets red, 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 and 2-6 is lib, lib. So that's pretty already a really strong start for fascist. This is one thing that every meta, both metas, I should say, 1-2-5-6 meta and 1-2-3, I guess, meta, both of them really don't take into account liberals getting red, red, red. Hitler takes IMV. He IMVs 7 fascists. That's fine. So we have a single blue deck count. That's not that great. I think, at this point, it's going to be tough for fascists to win. But at the same time, you have 2 and 6 kind of tied together, and getting 3 reds is going to be helpful. And at the very least, 5 should be looking liberal. Okay. Oh, you know what? I should mention. Let's see what the votes were on this gov. Okay, so yeah, because because 3 liberals are yawing 3, and both fascists are nining, this is good because it detaches them from from 3. Now, it's kind of an interesting thing for 3 to IMV 7 fascists, because then he's saying a fascist yawed him with IMV, which is not something the fascists are really keen on doing. But that should also signal to 3 that 7 is just a liberal. So I'd be, and I mean, the deck count also goes in favor of 3 being fascist in that situation. So that's where I'd be thinking, just on those 2 things. So funny, the both 1 and 5 get red, blue, blue. I'm sure 5 didn't realize that until after the game. So he forces the second blue. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that 1-5 is not fascist, which is always good for fascist. He picks 4. That's a perfectly reasonable pick and conflicts. So here we have what I'd call like the perfect situation for fascist. You have 2 conflicts down. Even though 3 is likely a fascist, no one's going to accept an SC of 7. And because 1-4 is conflict, you now have a 2 lib, 1 fascist situation, but it's a good situation for fascist because 5 is in perfect position. Now, a lot of people will start getting into positions like this, and they will say, well, you're the person who's in perfect position, so I'm not going to SC you because you're a fascist, or because you're likely to be fascist, or else fascists wouldn't have this go this way. It's not always that simple. Usually fascists can't control what the cards they get and the seating as well. So it shouldn't always. Yeah, and I agree. You should just go for it. No reason not to. He then picks 2. That's a perfectly reasonable pick. Also, I think 1 returns it to a normal deck state, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Let's see, it's 1 blue, then 4 blue, or 3 blue, and then he makes it a 4 blue deck. Excuse me. So I would still, on a 4 blue deck, be assuming 3 is fascist. Because 7 yawed 3, and he doesn't have a reason to, especially when 1-5-6 are 9ing to 5. Okay. And he decides not to take a gun here. Now, he told me this was about the merits of not taking a gun as fascist. And I'd like to point out here that if he doesn't take this gun, he plays the red. He can also conflict too, and shoot him. Liberals have 2 blues down, and fascists have 4 reds down, and a liberal is dead. So now it's a 3v3 top deck situation, and that's going to be one like a high percentage. I've seen like whenever there's a replay of liberals coming back from that and top decking 3 blues, it's always shared around the community because it's so rare. So bear that in mind. I would say that like 90% of the time, maybe even higher percentage than that, I would say you should just take the gun there. But either way, they're going to top deck here. Top deck a red. See, And if the top deck is blue, you're kind of up the creek as well. So they kind of get lucky there. And then he gets 2 blues. So this is pretty good. He then plays the 4th blue. Now, people should think that there's a blue left. There isn't. Oh, excuse me. There's only 1 blue left in the 5 cards. So even worse for Fascist. The worst case scenario here is that there's still a blue in 5 cards that they could potentially top deck and just lose the game outright. And people would be like, oh, 5 was Fascist, but it doesn't matter because Liberals have won the game. So let's see what they decide to do here. I'm actually not familiar with this part of the replay. Okay. So luckily, there's only 1 blue. So because a Fascist isn't got, it's a 100% win rate for Fascist after they don't top deck the blue. And I'm sure it shocked many that he was Fascist at all. I would still state that I think this is likely a Fascist win if he just takes it, and you don't have 2 extra blues down. You don't take that 20% risk of top decking a blue. There's also a minor risk that 2 might catch on and decide to play somebody else. I don't know. Like, anything could happen. And so, even though Fascists win this game, and you can see, like, currying favor with the Liberals and getting picked in veto zone is a good way to win the game. I think going with a normal strat here would have been completely acceptable as well. So, but either way, again, anybody has any questions, I will answer them down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys later.